Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. If you're not new here, my name is Morgan. Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Morgan, and here we do a little bit of all things creepy. Now, normally my thing is reading scary stories or telling you guys scary stories, but today we are switching that up a little bit because it is officially the release week of The Conjuring Last Rites, and I thought I should sit down and run you guys back through the entire franchise in case you are like me and you don't have time to sit down and watch them all. Also, fun fact pertaining to the Conjuring franchise. I grew up on this franchise. I remember my mom taking me to the midnight screening of the first one. I absolutely adored it. I don't remember how old I was. Probably too young to be watching that. But I grew up in this franchise. I've seen them all in theaters. I absolutely adore it. And I actually got invited to an early screening here's where it gets tricky. The early screening was last Wednesday. It was in Atlanta, Georgia, which is a 5-hour drive from me. So I drove down on Thursday. I think we're all seeing where this is going. I show up. The premiere happened a day earlier. I mixed up the date. So I will be seeing it for the first time this week. I plan on going Thursday night, and I'm very excited for it. But anyways, let's go ahead and break down each movie, and we're going to do it in chronological order by the storyline, so it's not going to be by release date. And that means we are starting with The Nun. In 1952, a priest and a nun yet to take her vows enter Romania to investigate a situation at an abbey where a nun has just taken her own life. Not only does this movie explain what happens to Frenchie, and it kind of shows that timeline. Frenchie is a character that comes up later, if you're wondering. He's possessed by Valak, and Valak is the nun. Valak is a demon that takes on the persona and appearance of a nun. And Valak is a reoccurring demon throughout this entire franchise that presents himself as a nun and really torments Lorraine Warren. So next up, we have Annabelle Creation, which took place in 1955. A former toy maker and his wife welcome a nun and 6 orphans into their home. And this is where we first hear of Annabelle's origin story. So obviously the toy maker dad makes this doll for his daughter who has passed away. Daughter loves this doll. Daughter passes away in a tragic accident, and her room and that doll within that room is left locked up, kind of like a shrine situation. These orphans are not allowed in that room. But does that stop them? No, it does not stop them, and one goes into that room. So in this room, they find a lot of toys and also Annabelle. This movie is not only where Annabelle is introduced, but where we find out exactly what all she can do. This is a terrifying movie. Dare I say, one of the scariest in the franchise. Next up in this timeline, we have The Nun 2, which took place in 1956. A priest is in France causing the same nun from the first movie to be sent to investigate because she did such a good job in the first one. This movie is important because it shows that Frenchie is still possessed, still being tormented, still very much within this situation. We also find out in this movie that Sister Irene, the nun from the first movie and this one, is a descent of Saint Lucy, which could be important later, like the movie that's about to come out. I think that's going to be very important. Next up, we have Annabelle that takes place in 1967. A man buys what he believes is the perfect gift for his pregnant wife. It is a doll to complete her collection. And things seem fine until one night there is a break-in next door. And the people that break into this house are a part of this cult that will come up again later. But the people that break in are actually, it's the daughter and her boyfriend of the people that live next door. So they break into that house, the owner, and then come into the owner of Annabelle's house. And that is where the daughter from next door sacrifices herself in an attempt to conjure up something within the cult that they follow. So we watch as that bedroom door opens. She's holding Annabelle deceased, and her blood is dripping into Annabelle. And I think we all know where this is going. I think this movie is really important because it shows Annabelle's timeline, and it again shows what she's capable of. Next up, in 1971, we have the original Conjuring, the movie that started it all. So this follows paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, who make a trip to the Perrin family home in Rhode Island. The mom, Carolyn, actually contacted the Warrens herself when the strange occurrences in their home could not be ignored anymore. And this home seems to just be a magnet of all kinds of paranormal activity. But all of this activity didn't just stay, attached to the house. it attached to the family. This is a very real haunting. This film is the foundation for the entire franchise, as it was the first to release, like I just said. And we get a first glimpse of Annabelle in this movie, and the Warren Museum entirely, for that matter. We even see Valak. It introduced a lot in this first movie to be set up for later spin-offs and sequels and things like that. So next up, in 1972, we have Annabelle Comes Home. The Warrens leave their daughter Judy at home with a babysitter while they go out and do an investigation. And when they leave, they lock up their museum so no one goes in there because they've just brought Annabelle home. But that doesn't stop the babysitter and her friends from getting in and unleashing Annabelle to her full potential. And with that, they wake up the other spirits in that room, and we get a glimpse of some of the other things that they have collected in this museum, and it is quite terrifying. It's really important, this movie is, because it shows the Warrens bringing Annabelle home, and it again shows what she can do, and it shows some of the other artifacts that they own. Next up, in 1973, we have The Curse of La Llorona, and if you've been here for a while, I've talked about the Conjuring franchise a lot. I hold it close to my heart. I grew up on it. I don't think this movie should have been a part of the franchise because the only tie-in it has is with one character, and it's the priest from Annabelle. I don't think it was necessary to be a part of it. With that being said, I do like the movie. So the movie follows a troubled social worker and her children that are terrorized by the infamous La Llorona in Los Angeles. We just get introduced to Father Perez. Like I said, that's the only tie-in. That's all that really needs to be said about it. Next up, we have The Conjuring 2 in 1977. And this follows Ed and Lorraine Warren, who travel to London to investigate the home of Peggy Hodson. She's a mom of 4 who's being plagued by paranormal activity in their townhouse. When Ed and Lorraine agree to take this case on and move into the house, that is when one of the daughters begins showing very clear signs to the Warrens of demonic possession. This film was the setup for the Nun spin-off, as it featured a lot more Valak, and other cases referenced in this movie. In the opening, actually, is the very controversial and infamous Amy DeVille case. And we see the entity known as the Crooked Man, and I think we were supposed to get a movie about him and we just never did. I kind of hope they still make it. Like, I know The Conjuring's ending, but, like, does that mean the spin-offs end, or is it just The Conjuring itself? You know what I mean? Finally, in 1981, we come to the newest film, which is The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. In 1981, a cop comes into contact with a bloodied man walking down the road. He's picked up and later named the number 1 suspect in a murder, and the man's defense? I was possessed and the devil made me do it. That's what he argued in court. The Warrens agree to look into this case and actually end up arguing in court in his defense, saying he did show clear signs of demonic possession. This movie has a tie-in with the cult that was mentioned in the first Annabelle movie, and it's actually one of the Warrens' most infamous cases. And this case alone, this court case, is really infamous for being one of the only cases to involve supernatural things, tie-ins within the court system. It's actually a really interesting case if you guys ever wanted to look into it. But now you are all caught up and you are ready to go on September 5th to go see The Conjuring Last Rites. I tried to make this as short as I could so you guys could just like put it on and be ready and refreshed and go see it. So hopefully that's exactly what I did and it was a big help. But thank you guys so much. Please let me know in the comments what your favorite Conjuring movie was. And if you don't mind, and I will make my own video probably about The Conjuring Last Rites on here. But if I don't by the time you go see it, come back into these comments and let me know if you loved it. I plan on going this Thursday. I'm so excited for it. But with all that being said, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you tomorrow where we are going to be reading some scary stories that you guys have sent in to me.